believe me, Luke Cage is nothing but a man.
Alim,
it's mine. Damn. Hate to see such a positive.
That's when you say take it.
I ain't want this anyway.
Shit, take it. And every Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles fucking joint around here too. And it's a good thing usually when people undress me. I'm usually wearing a shirt from dtmerch.com. where you can go to dtmerch.com and find shirts, hats, beanies, backpacks, phone covers. Keep these shows that we have here coming, these live streams, by being a subscriber. We do have audio for you, and you find that on iTunes and SoundCloud. And the thing is, though, you're going to be listening to that audio and Martin going to be like, damn, ain't nothing like having visuals with this. What am I going to do? Well, you're going to bring your ass back here. You're going to subscribe in many ways. You might even use your Amazon account. You might even put it into our Amazon Pay button. You might put your username and password in there, and you might even press send. But when you do that, you for sure going to get that toasted goodness.
All over.
Chicago, John, where is it?
All over your body?
Yes, like you gave it to me that night. So everybody talking about that Luke Cage. Luke Cage Season 2. They said, man, y'all don't even bother with Jessica Jones. Corey, you haven't even seen Iron Fist. You were hating on Defenders, but maybe you'll help a brother out. You know, Luke, you did like Luke Cage. Well, if you remember, I only like half of Luke Cage. That's why I only watch half of it. But no, you know what? We're going to get to the other half. What we're going to do today, since it's 13
I actually like both halves of Luke Cage.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought it got a little weaker as it went along, but it's 13 episodes again, despite people saying, man, y'all need to make those Marvel Netflix shows a little shorter. Netflix said, fuck you, we do what we want to do. We making it 13.
We Netflix. This is what we do.
This is what we do. We making 13 episodes. You know, we making an extra one right now as we speak, just to make you mad. No, 13 episodes is hard to get through sometimes, especially when you're traveling like we have been. So what we're going to do today is we're going to watch, we've watched half. It's 13 episodes. I watched 6.5.
I've watched
episodes.
4 1/4.
4 1/4. Damn, boy, we just got all mathematics up in here with this Luke Cage, man. Well, you know what? Our numerical skills, they might be off a little bit, but we can give you some good impressions of what we thought about the series so far. Now, what we'll do is we'll follow up with a complete review, or complete the review, on Tuesday. We get through watching the rest of them. At least I'll get through watching the rest of them.
I'll try my best.
Okay. Well, I'll get through this. I'm pretty sure. But for now, we're just going to give you our impressions of the first half of Luke Cage. And, watch the trailer a little bit for those who need to be a little refreshed on the bulletproof black man.
And believe me, Luke Cage is nothing but a man.
Alim,
it's mine. Damn. Hate to see such a positive.
that's when you say take it.
I ain't want this anyway.
Shit, take it. And every Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles fucking joint around here too.
Just so we're clear, I'm not in the market for a sidekick.
Who says you're not my sidekick?
Me? It's my show.
Everybody's looking at this like, man, this has got to be good right here. The stakes are higher right now, just by the mere fact that Luke Cage finally met somebody who can whoop his ass. It's like nobody thought they could stop the black bulletproof man of Harlem right
He
there.
certainly didn't.
He certainly did. He had that swagger too, man, walking down the road. And you know what? Also they say, but since the stakes are higher with Luke Cage, now who plays him again?
Mike Coulter.
Mike Coulter, yeah. Now the stakes are higher with Luke Cage, and I had somebody's out there and get the drop on him. He's getting a little rougher, making things a little harder for him with the law, his friends, and his woman. Mm-hmm. And this right here, they did go out their way to kind of just raise stakes higher on all fronts. And also, I'm gonna tell you now, Mark, I don't know what you think about this. I'm gonna get into it with you, but I will say about the Netflix series, the Marvel Netflix series, is that they offer some great moments, and this is a show with some great moments right here because, good or bad, they do make an attempt to make the characters more accessible. When you look at the movies, the movies You know, they're more than, you know, the characters in the movies, you know, there's so much more in there. The characters are larger than life, and even more so being enhanced by a lot of CG. And so it just makes these characters, you know, again, godlike. Netflix says, well, we ain't got that kind of money. Well,
they sure don't.
Actually, we do, but
we ain't spending it here.
This nigga ain't getting it. You know? Shit, street level means cheap.
Right. Yeah. What do you mean by street level?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only spending street money on this.
Yeah. You know, this is the food truck superhero rating. You know, nah, man. No, you know, but that's fine. That is fine. Because Luke Cage is actually probably out of all the, now I don't know how you feel about this. I think that out of all the Netflix shows, Luke Cage has always seemed to be the more accessible out of you know, I guess the Defenders. Now, out of Jessica Jones, out of
Daredevil
and Iron Fist.
How do you define that as most accessible?
Well, okay. For one, I say that because he puts himself out there for the people. Like, unlike you know, Daredevil, who has to hide behind a mask. Unlike Jessica Jones, who she does it for money. She really doesn't like people. You know, this man he loves the attention of being a superhero of Harlem. You know, he's black, so he says, I have to be not only a superhero, I have to be a leader. I have to be like an example.
Well,
for
yeah,
Harlem.
but you went through the whole first season with him rejecting that. He only in this season starts to roll with it, to go like, all right, let me play into it since it's he.
Even if he rejected it for the half, you know, I think that second half was where he embraced it. But you know, I guess the other thing with it is that it's more accessible because with Luke Cage, you know, out of everybody being street level, Luke Cage is hood.
Sure.
You know, in the hood, don't give a fuck.
No, it is not.
When he has to be a figurehead of the community. People see him as an example, a peer of the community. All that is good when you're kicking ass. All that is good when you're fashionable. When you're in style.
Yeah, but in the hood, nobody loves you when you're down and out.
But the moment you get knocked the fuck out, the hood don't give a shit about
No,
you.
you are a laughing stock.
What's my name? Them call me Bushmaster.
Had that been Captain America or Iron Man that got taken down like that, white people would have been like, oh, a mighty hero has fallen. What will we do? When this fool got his ass whooped, when people came up and saw him get knocked down like that, and that kid had that camera right there, people ran up on him like, nigga, you got your ass whooped. And you know something? In the hood, you only as good as your last ass whooping.
Yep.
Or your last ass kicking.
Yep.
It was funny, too, because when they got out there with that, his best friends were out there selling tapes of that ass whooping.
Yeah.
Luke Cage gets the taste smacked out of his mouth. You gotta see this shit in HD.
I can still whoop your ass. He's behind me, isn't he? Yeah. You know, I like this in that, being that it is hood, people, it's not that so much that he's embraced the neighborhood or he's embraced his life now, anything like that. I'd like it because this is a situation where this is you've seen people who in this world now more than we've seen in the movies how they interact with superheroes. Like they see this guy all the time.
Sure.
And they interact with him on a level where it's like, you know, being a superhero is not that special anymore. Mm-hmm. And at any moment, people can like embrace him. But also, as you see right here, there are a lot of moments where this guy has become nothing but sort of a social media trending topic.
Well,
something to take selfies with.
He's a commodity. He's what happened, I mean, decades after they died, but back when there was Malcolm X hats everywhere.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King's painted on velvet that you just buy on a street corner. It's
exactly.
like, man, these guys actually stood for something and meant something, and now it's just something to sell.
You really begin to see how he has to struggle in his life.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you didn't see the part where he has to go out there and get a job to take care of a huge bill that he has.
I saw where he was about to do that. I got up to the point where he's getting sued and his endorsement deals were drying up because of the video of him getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And so he has to take a job doing a personal appearance that he didn't want to do at first.
He has to stoop to levels of being practically a doorman or showing up like
Right.
like a D-list celebrity at a
Yeah.
used car lot or something.
Right.
Those are things you don't get in the movies, and this is something that you're not even getting in the rest of the Netflix series. This is something that you're getting from like Luke Cage right now.
Yeah, because sure, being a superhero is great, but how do you pay your bills with it? Because the thing that was bugging me is like, okay, him and Bobby Fish, they're still running Pop's barbershop, but nobody's cutting hair.
No, nobody.
They're there all day long, paying the electric bill, just hanging out. Bobby Fish playing chess with himself. Luke just sweeping. I don't know what, because nobody's coming in to get their hair cut.
Well, he's practicing when they do that. Yeah, nobody knows how to cut hair.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know how he wouldn't. He's bald. Where's he getting his hair cut?
Somebody actually comes in for a haircut, and they're like, "Oh, well, the guy who cuts hair isn't here." I'm like, "Who would that guy be? Y'all don't have anybody."
Yeah. Well, the worst business skills. Why y'all have this? Well, to keep Pop's memory alive. Pop has an expensive ass memory, man.
Right. And he's like, "Man, they're doubling the rent. I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we got to move." Yeah, or get customers. I don't know.
Yeah,
one or the other, I guess.
Yeah, or get the fuck out. I hate to say it, but that's why a lot of black businesses go down. Ain't got no business plan.
Yeah.
You run a barbershop. What do you do here? I don't know. That's a good question.
Y'all should cut hair. Huh. Let me think on that.
We don't cut hair, but we got a vending machine. Oh, fuck it. Damn. Well, you got bulletproof strength, but you got a dumbass brain. When they do get some good writing in there, these actors are able to do wonders with it. What's her name here? Rosario Dawson.
She's always the best actor in all these shows.
She really is.
And especially with this show, when she's in scenes, it's like, okay, she raises the bar.
Yeah.
And if she's playing a scene with somebody who's not good, you recognize it right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
And fortunately, Mike Coulter is good. You're like, hey, you know what? This guy's holding it down.
Mm-hmm. I think her and Mike Coulter actually, when they're in scenes together, they do well. And it's funny, too, because they had one scene, and that's one of the most realistic things that I've seen, whether it be in a superhero movie or not. And every guy, I ain't saying Rosario Dawson didn't have a point, but every guy's been in an argument with their woman where that woman just drives his ass crazy. And you doing the right thing. And they find some kind of way to come in and tell you that you fucking up. Baby, I'm saving the neighborhood. Crime has gone down. But you look stressed out. It's like, the fuck?
For the most 90% of what she was saying, I was like, she's right on everything. There's just one thing she was saying, I was like, no.
Yeah.
That's the one part where you need to back off.
You think I seek this shit out?
You won't take responsibility.
I am taking responsibility.
You're blaming your father.
Oh, no,
You're blaming Pops.
Don't talk about my father.
See? That's what I'm saying.
That was right there. I was like, man, you need to listen to her. This girl knows what she's talking about. But that whole thing when she keeps leaning on, you need to talk to your father. I'm like, you need to stay the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, we got our own thing going on. Has nothing to do with any of the rest of this.
You need to get your ass up. You need to get a job. Go back to school. And by the way, I called your mama. What the fuck my mom got to do? If you look at that, it's very relatable for anybody who's actually gotten into a fight with their girlfriend.
Sure.
Our wife.
Yeah.
Our partner.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But a lot I say guy with his girlfriend because really that's the dynamic right there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they nailed it with that. They nailed it.
Yeah, when
home.
you're trying to do your best, he's like, yeah, you still fucking up though, and here's why. He's like, God, you can't just let me have some of this.
And they find every way. Some shit that don't even have to do with anything. Baby, I'm out here. I'm working hard. You ain't working hard enough. Baby, I'm bringing home money. Oh, yeah? To spending that bitch you used to fuck a long time? What the hell that got to do with anything?
You know it goes back to your childhood. Can we not go all the way back to that?
The dude plays Bushmaster. Mustafa Shakir, man.
That guy's awesome.
You know what? Again,
he's got a lot of charisma.
Oh yeah, no. Again, like what we were saying with Luke Cage in the Community, Bushmaster. He's not some super villain who's sitting in a lair, got his henchmen beside him the whole time, surrounded by traps and lasers and everything. Now, if you want to find him, he's over the Jamaican bar.
Yeah,
drinking beer,
drinking rum,
watching a soccer game. He's everything about Luke Cage is like, we are people who have all these powers, and yet we're keeping it within the community. and everybody knows who we are. You know, it's been incredible what they've been able to do with that.
And I love how he's telling Luke, he's like, listen, we both hate Mariah. She's our common enemy. We can both take her out. But I'm gonna own Harlem after that, though.
Yeah,
So you know.
Oh, no, there's a lot of good dynamics going on right here. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's the thing about it, man. There's a lot of things they could have done with him that could have made him excessive. I saw this brother kill somebody in here in a way that it was something out of a horror movie.
It was.
Yeah, this was like, that's some shit that Mike Myers would look at and be
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
damn.
okay, I've never seen that before.
No. This is really, I've never seen this in a horror movie, an action film, or anything else. But they play the guy cool. You actually like him.
Yeah.
After a while. And by the way, the guy does not talk with a Jamaican accent.
Does he not?
No. I heard him in some things, some interviews online. So he's a.
Oh, you saying in real life he normally doesn't talk with that accent?
No,
Okay.
no, not at all. However, you know, we're gonna get into some bad things in a little while. But one of the things right here is like, there's a lot of people with these Jamaicans that they have in here that are funny, but sometimes it's just somebody who just cannot get that accent down. They got one dude in here. I was like, brother, just stop.
Me, John, and our brethren Sheldon. Me like an older brother to John. There was an elder, Anansi, a bushman.
You just need to throw an Edie, man. In there.
These Jamaican accents, there's a wide range of them, and I'm like, I don't know which one of these are authentic or not.
Yeah.
But I know some of them are cartoonish.
Yeah. You can find them down with the bum, but I'm like, brother, stop. This is what they call Halloween Jamaican. Stay real Jamaican, man. You need to cut it out. But you know, while he is good, you know, this is where I'm gonna go into things where I'm like, okay, some things I don't like about this.
I would say that outside of everything we just named that we liked, I think everything else about this has been bad.
Yeah, I don't want to. You know what?
It's been like the first episode I thought was trash.
And
I hate to use that word because it sounds like you're just tossing all of it. But I was watching that first episode. It's directed by Lucy Liu.
Oh no, yeah.
But I was like, man, this is so stiff. The dialogue is so bad. You can drive a truck between everybody's lines. The acting from everyone, they're all acting like cartoon characters, like cartoon gangsters, especially Shades. I was like, wow, this guy Theo Rossi, why does he even still have a job?
Well, you know, it's funny because I don't hate him. It's just
right, because what we need to do next.
Something.
Is maybe you could sell that painting, you know. And I was like, is he going to deliver all his lines this way? Damn.
Yeah, he just keeps reminding me of an evil Adam Sandler. I keep telling you that.
But he had this whole patois that was just everything. Yeah. That's what we need to do next. Line. I forgot what I was supposed to say next. I felt like everybody's being fed their lines one by one.
Yeah, and that's
just the way the shots were set up were boring.
Well, that's the problem with it. I don't. What they've done, somewhat intentionally, is that they've tried to actually do blaxploitation, positive blaxploitation, and looking at this, I can't tell when they're doing it on purpose or when they're not aware when it's bad. You know, it's like I can't tell when you're aware and when you're not aware.
Right.
And if you're self-aware of it, that's fine. But a lot of times, if it's not clear, it just comes across as clumsy.
Yeah, and a lot of times that kind of middling scene from a blaxploitation movie or just a 70s cop show will just kind of, the score will just kind of play in the background. But it'll just come out of nowhere. Like a scene will be going for a while, and then suddenly the score kind of comes in, and I'm like, all right, now you throw it in halfway through the dialogue, and it's not adding anything.
Because I don't hate some of the characters as much as you do. Like the woman who plays Misty Knight, I think she's actually better in this season than she was last season.
No, I agree. As much as I was, dogging her out on the first season, watching her this season, I'm like, you know what? She's actually much better. And I don't know if it's because I feel like the bar has been lowered so much, but I'm like, I'm not minding her now. I think she's better in the role this time.
Well, you get her who has improved, and some people might have improved, but the script starts to get dumber.
Yeah.
The things that come out of like not only blaxploitation movies but action films, all these movies have to have, or these shows, they have to have a bar fight that comes out of nowhere.
Yes, out of nowhere.
A bar fight to show you just how badass the hero is.
You that bitch that sent my brother to Dannemora.
and there go the other dudes jumping in.
Now, okay. Now, watching this, I was just like, all right, this is kind of cool. But at the point where his boys jump in, that wouldn't happen.
That's what I'm saying.
They would sit back and go like, you getting your ass kicked by a woman. You should have started that shit in the first place.
Yeah, that's what
the only thing they would have done was pull out their phones and recorded it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. All these, they always got the dudes that are standing by, ready to get their ass whooped too. And any other, I'm not looking for realism here, but people, don't nobody want no shit today. If anything, somebody would be like, man, you started that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't jumping in.
I ain't jumping in this.
Yeah, I'm about to go to jail. I ain't about to get your hashtag fighting these women. Shit, and you will. Even if you get your ass whooped, they'll still find a way.
Yeah.
To say me too. This, and all of them know like martial arts.
Oh, I know.
And then at the very end of it, oh, they don't even show it here, but the end of it here, they don't show it in this clip. But if you watch the show, they got the two people who were too drunk to even like pay attention. Just two people in the back still drinking. Didn't run out, didn't pull out no phones, still at the bar having a conversation. Didn't hear all these people back here tearing up the fucking bar.
Yeah.
It's a cliche thing to do, and they took it to every level within that.
I know. I have found that like I thought the first episode was terrible, but as it kept going, they were getting better, and yet they would still have moments like this where I was like, y'all just can't let me just think, okay, now you got it.
Yeah.
And relax.
This is stupid. Like nobody ever does this. Like, hey, that's my best friend. I'll get you. No.
Yeah, man. If I was with you and you picked a fight with a woman in a bar and she beat your ass, I'm just gonna sit there and watch.
Yeah. I'm gonna be laughing. Wow, this is stupid. All of them deserve to get their ass whooped for jumping in there like that. Yeah, man. I know it's a comic book show, and but there's some things that are just written bad. And on top of that, if you really want to get down to the dumb shit, you got him throughout the whole show talking about I'm bulletproof. So why every 10 minutes are people walking out with bullets and guns trying to shoot him?
Sure.
It's like, how many scenes are in here where like people try to shoot him?
Right.
And everybody knows him as the bulletproof black man.
Well, it only makes sense in that one scene where the guy says, look, man, we got to try so we don't get chewed out by our boss.
And that's early on.
Right, early on.
But after that...
And he's like, I get it. But something I keep noticing, they keep pulling out guns and shooting him, and he stands there and let him do it. I'm like, listen, just because you're bulletproof doesn't mean you like getting shot. Like, if I was bulletproof and somebody pulled a gun on me, I would still run up and try to take the gun out their hands because I don't want my shirt messed up. I don't want to feel a bullet on me. I don't want it ricocheting and hitting somebody else.
How about you just save your money on medical bills and quit getting your henchmen beat up and don't send them out with bullets and guns?
Right.
It's a real simple solution.
It's an easy concept.
Like, are you just waiting for one to hit his asshole and just hopes that that's the perfect spot? You know what I mean?
Especially since in the first episode he gets shot by a Judas bullet and it doesn't do anything. So at that point, all right, guns are useless. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. The performances are up and down around here for me. Alfre Woodard, fine actress, but in this show,
it's cartoonish.
In the show, she goes around and the woman's sexy playing this. She ain't got to like overdo it. She goes around with her eyes all big. She does a role almost like she's drunk.
Yeah, she does. She does. And I'm like, to be a top level gangster, she sure is childish about stuff. And emotionally unstable.
I want somebody to get Luke Cage.
Yeah. Girl, you're going to do what I tell you to do.
Yeah, and treating her henchmen like shit.
Yeah.
Henchmen come in with good advice. She's like, if you don't get the fuck out of my office now,
I'm going to cut your nuts off and play dice with them.
She does have some good lines. I'm going to break my foot off in your ass. Don't care if I don't get it back.
I got to say, though, one of my favorite things, because there's at least two roasts that they hit over and over. Of course, with Misty, they pull up every one-handed pawn they can. I'm like, all right, it's kind of funny at first, but y'all are being excessive.
Yeah.
But when the other gangsters roast Shades about sleeping with an old woman, I crack my ass off.
Oh, yeah.
Especially to the point, because he's always getting so mad about it, even to the point of shooting somebody.
Man,
that old pussy must be good.
Yeah.
How dare you point out the truth?
Yeah. Either you get a younger chick or just go with it, man.
Because they're all laughing at him about it.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with her. She's fine. You know, if you're gonna take it, take it.
She's attractive for an older woman, but there is no getting around that fact.
Yeah, and they just make fun of Shades talking about, damn, bruh. We see the bottom of your feet sticking out her pussy. Man, what's going on? You were up in there, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that he's whipped, but you got this club where all these younger, super hot chicks are going in and out, but he's all up under her, and she ever so often treats him like shit.
And ain't nothing he can do about it either, because that's his boss.
Right.
Ain't shit he can do but just take it and give it.
But wear them glasses.
Wear them glasses. Except when somebody says something you piss you off, you're like, Shades, what's up?
But you like him more mature, don't you, Shades?
Shades, why your glasses fogged up?
Oh, and would you and your nephew like something else?
Yeah.
Ooh, have him killed. How dare you? How dare you point out that she's older than me?
And Alfre Woodard, every now and then she's overacting a little bit, but something happened where it look like it really does make her pissed off for real.
Oh yeah,
like it's something about her. Now you talk about an older black woman. You know how you just made your mama mad at the last minute where she's like, "You don't get the fuck out of my sight." There are moments in here where they would say something to her and she'll get raw on somebody in a minute, and those lines made me laugh.
Enjoy a little time on the hill. Life is so precious. Precarious too.
That's another thing with these musical acts, man. I'll get that in a minute.
It was nice the way they wove them in the first season, but this time they're crowbarring that shit in, and they'll do 2 songs per episode. And most of the time, I was like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, these musical acts they have in here. Let me see.
Miss Stokes.
Dillard, bitch. You call me Stokes one more goddamn time.
I was like, okay, she's really mad.
Yeah, and I'm like, y'all trying to make a big business deal here and getting so emotional over bullshit.
Well, I didn't mind that. That shows just how, every villain has their weakness. Every villain doesn't like that thing that's said about them, which is why they don't succeed. I didn't mind that too much. It didn't piss me off.
Cartoon villains.
Yeah, no, and that's another thing, man. With that, y'all saw that music right there. With this, it's like, it's almost like you watching Luke Cage with this week's musical guest.
Yeah.
Luke Cage featuring Charlie Gambino. It's like every time, they'll get into the story, but they got these musical acts that come in and they just spotlight them for a long time. It's almost like, is this a series or is this a talent show?
Right.
Because they really do stop what is a 13 episode series where they could actually trim it down if they weren't trying to expose the artist of the week. Which does some great artists here, because the music in this is good. It goes anywhere from as you can see right here, blues. There's a lot of blues in here, and it's pretty cool. But they got the hip hop in there, but they got jazz, they got soul, they got neo soul, they got R&B. So I thought that was kind of cool, but the balance just seems just a little too off this time, a little too much music going on.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just stops everything to where it's noticeable. When you have something this long, it needs to kind of be cut short. This is just half the series. It's just kind of working out to just okay. Reggie Kathy in here is one of the people that I like. Reggie Kathy is actually Luke Cage's father, and there's a little more depth to that character than I thought that there would be.
Right.
I was actually pretty impressed with that, and his scenes in there. I can't remember. I can't remember the actor's name, but the one that plays Sugar Pops or whatever, the one that
Pops,
the one that runs the bar with him, right there.
Oh, Bobby Fish.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
I forget the actor's name.
I forget the
actor's
actor's
used to be on
name.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, I forgot that actor's name, but I like that actor a lot.
Sure.
He's actually really good, and that's another one that has a lot of emotion. The best parts of this series are when they do get to their most dramatic parts. When you get these actors together, and they start having one-on-one dialogue with each other, the series is at its best. Bushmaster and Luke Cage, I think, is a good slow build to whatever they're going to be heading up to. They're going to have a huge conflict.
Well, I love that first fight because it was cool, and where normally I'd be like, oh no, the villain just knocked out the hero, Luke. How's he gonna be? But I was just like, that's what you get walking around so cocky all the time.
Yeah.
But so many other action scenes I thought were pretty pedestrian.
Well, this is stupid too. No, actually, no. You know what? I actually thought that this was cool. This fight scene where you're like, why is the Bushmaster having his henchmen fight knowing they're gonna get beat down? And I like the way that they actually use that later.
Sure.
So there's some cool things they do with action scenes here. But so far, it's the whole thing that they're trying to do with making this, as we said, sort of a modern blaxploitation, a positive blaxploitation film, making it so consciously black, coming in and not being able to like balance the more comic book parts with some of the more dramatic parts. Not bad. There's some things that I really enjoy, but if I had to rate it as something, well, it's perfect for Netflix because it would be a rental if this was a movie. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, based on the first episode, that first episode I thought was a some old bullshit. And the rest it's been rental territory. And honestly, like 3 episodes in, I thought I might bail on it because I was like, there's other things I could be doing because it's just not, even the things it does good, it should be doing better. There's just not enough going on there. It's just, even with the drama, with the writing, I was like, yeah, I know you go like, hey, it's a comic book based series and maybe it won't have all that. But I was like, yeah, but you guys should have more of what's good, and you don't have the budget for the action, so pump it up on the drama and stop writing these gangsters all like cartoon characters because they don't feel like real people.
No,
and even with Mariah Stokes and her plan, like, well, if I get this $20 million, then I can do this, I can go legit. I was so like, I don't even understand your plan for most of it. How you suddenly people will forget that you were a gangster up until this point. That doesn't even really make sense to me.
There's a whole lot of stuff.
And there's a lot of stuff. There's like you bring in her daughter who calls her mommy. Like a 20-something-year-old woman calling her mom mommy?
It doesn't bother me.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It does me. Every time she says it, I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still intrigued enough to watch more. And because I'm at the point where Foggy Nelson has come in, so it's not just doing some kind of crossover.
Well, they're doing a lot of crossover. Later on in the show, they're going to cross over with Iron Fist, and they say that they actually do something cool with him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Misty has gotten her bionic arm at this point.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that they're doing here that like might be cool.
I feel like I'm going to stick with it, but I don't have high hopes anymore. And the only reason I had high hopes to begin with because somebody an early review said, okay, this has broken the curse of the Netflix second seasons being bad, and this is better than Daredevil season 2. And so far, I'm going, no, you're not.
Nah, I like it, though. I'm enjoying it. I think that there's a lot of stuff in here that makes me want to come back.
It's funny to hear that because I won't recommend shows to you a lot of times because I'm like, you're very picky, especially with your time. Mm-hmm. And it's only when I think something is really, really good where I go like, no, okay, you should watch this. And this is not something that would have made that list.
Well, I probably wouldn't have watched it if you said it anyway because I haven't watched none of these Marvel Netflix shows unless I just do it on my own.
Sure.
And this one so far is like, it's not making me excited. I came back. I will say this, though. Y'all need to just drop this whole thing of all of it being connected. This being connected with the movies and all.
Oh
that.
no!
It's like nah. They don't even look like they fit anymore.
No, they don't.
And they tried to. Even they making fun of themselves in this. The green guy. Then somebody said, man, just call him by his name.
Yeah.
You know who he is. Nah, y'all have gotten yourselves in a situation, Marvel, where you think like, oh, all this is connected. No, it ain't.
No,
y'all have tangled up that ball of yarn and y'all don't know how to get out of it.
Nah, at some point Kevin Feige is going to come in and go, none of this is connected. We're doing our own Luke Cage.
Yeah. Pull his pants down and just piss all over us. Which he should. Because it just doesn't make sense to try that anymore. But I will keep up with the show.